Welcome to Coder Station.
Hey guys, welcome back to Go the Station again. Today in this session, we will explore how to use Bootstrap buttons in your projects. Buttons are a fundamental part of any user interface, and Bootstrap makes them easy to style and customize. But before moving forward, please like, share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Coder Station. So let's move on towards our topic. So today first we are going to see the introduction of our Bootstrap buttons. So a Bootstrap button are interactive elements that trigger on actions. That is, buttons are part of a form or any web page. When triggered, that is when clicked on that button, it causes some action. So they are styled with predefined classes to ensure consistency and responsiveness. In Bootstrap, these buttons are already styled with CSS so that you can use them whenever possible and as per your requirement. So there are various Bootstrap buttons. The basic syntax for a button is like button, the class, and inside that you have to write the class of the Bootstrap button which you are going to use. And my button is the text, followed by the closing tag for button. Now there are various classes in Bootstrap. So the first one is button primary. So it causes a primary button to appear on your web page. The second is secondary button. Then we have the success button, and there are many more buttons. So we are going to see a practical approach how to use this button and implement in our web page. Let's see how to use buttons on our web page. So first of all, we need a HTML template for our document. So here's the template. Now I'm just adding the title for our web page, which is buttons. Let's have Bootstrap buttons. Okay. So before we import any of the Bootstrap components, we need a CDN link that links our web page with the components database of the Bootstrap. So for that, first we will visit the website of Bootstrap CDN links. Then we will go over here, the first link, getbootstrap.com. In this you can see the first style sheet link, that is minified CSS. So you have to copy this link and then you have to paste it in our head. So now I have pasted the style sheet. So this will ensure that you can now import any of the Bootstrap components online in your web page. So now let's get started with our Bootstrap buttons. So first I will write Bootstrap buttons in the h1 tag. Now let's start with some basic buttons. Let's add the button, and here the important thing is class. So in Bootstrap, the button should have a class to get imported. For example, I am writing I want a primary button now. So I will write button, then the class of the button should be button, and then button primary. Bas, it's enough. And now you can add anything. For example, I am writing here primary. Now let's run this and I will show you. See, Bootstrap button which was in h1 tag, and this is our primary button. So we got our primary button over here. Next we will have a secondary button. Let's see how it works. Button, then button, secondary. Let's see now. See, you have also got a secondary button. So the primary button is in blue color, whereas the secondary button is in the white and black contrast. Then the third button in the list is the success button. It is mostly used in forms. So let's try it. I'm just copy pasting the same line because the syntax is same everywhere, just changing the name of the class. So instead of secondary, I will write here success. See now, the success is in green color. So when you click on success, it must trigger an action. So for that action, you must write a code for it. I'm just showing you how to import and embed those buttons on your web page and the various buttons available on Bootstrap. So our next button is button warning. So warning is mostly used when the user prompts something unusual or or for some wrong input. Let's try how the warning button works. There's a spelling mistake, beta. Warning. Yes. So our warning button is in orange color. The next button we will try are info, light, dark, and link. So these are the common buttons only. But even then, let me show you how they work. Now let's do with the info button, light button, and dark button. I will just write them together and execute them so that we won't go one by one and waste our time. Now see, here is the light button and here is the dark button. Oh, so sorry. It is not black, it is dark. Yes. Now, oh, and then it's not working. Then there is some issue. Button light. Yes, it's right. Button info, is it working? Yes, button info is working. Button light, button dark. Okay. I will just get into this. Now let's see with our next classes of button. So button can be also distinguished with the sizes. So writing the h1 tag, in that we have button with sizes. Okay, now first we will have the first we will have is button large. So let's see how it works. Button large and large button. See, this is the size of the button. You can just compare with those buttons that we have written earlier. The previous buttons were of similar size and of similar length, but this button is of different size. So if you want to if you want to use a button with larger size, you can use this class, which is button large. Now I can also use button small, and let's see how it works. So for using small button, you have to just write this sm for small. See now, this is the small button and this is a large button. Now you can easily distinguish. Let me color it. See, now this is a large button and this is the small button. I think it is not visible for you all, so let me color blue for our small button. Now see, this is our large button and this is our small button. Hey guys, before moving forward, I would like to please suggest a change in our Bootstrap link version. That is, the link which we have imported was actually of the previous version, means it was very old, and I just found out because some of our elements, some of our buttons were not working as I expected. So I just went through the version, and then I got that this version is too old now, and now we have a recent version which is 5.1.3. So please update your link to 5.1.3. Just make it small changes over here, and please make ensure that in future if you are importing a CDN link, it should be of the latest version. Okay, now so before moving forward, let's see after changing the version of our link, now what happens with our output. So this is, oh wow, now this is our output. This is what I was expecting, that primary should be in blue, secondary in gray, success in green, and so on, the warning in yellow, info. So these is this is the actually output which I expected and I wanted, but due to the link of a previous version, or you can say old version, I couldn't do it. So let's now move forward with the outline buttons. So in the outline buttons, we have the first button is outline success. You can also try with outline primary. So in what happens in outline buttons, you have colors to only border of the button, whereas in simple buttons you have a solid color to the base of the button, whereas in outline buttons you have just border colors and the base is empty. For example, let's see, this is our primary button, and when hovering over the button you can see the base is filled with the primary color. Now similarly we have for success, outline success. Let's try how it works. See, the initial outline is in green, and when hover over it we can see the color in green for the base of the button. Now we will take a last example of outline button, which is outline warning. I'm just changing the name of the class because the syntax is the same. Now see, outline warning. So these were our outline buttons. Now let's move forward to our next button class, which is the disabled buttons. So disabled buttons are the buttons which cannot perform any actions. Means you can see the buttons on our web page, but you cannot act upon it. For example, let's try one disabled button class. Then we will have, what should we have? Button. Okay, we will have a primary button only. Button primary. So see, this is a primary button. Okay, now if you click on it, it can create it can trigger an action, but for making a button disabled you have to just add you have to just means enable a disabled tag in in our button tag. So just you have to write the disabled over here, so which will make the button disable. So you can see the comparison of our primary button with the disabled button. The disabled button's color is shine is slightly fade. So we will go with a primary disabled button. Let's see. First I will show you the difference between a primary button and primary disabled. So primary button. So this is a primary button. Okay, when clicking on it, it can trigger an action. So if you want a button to be disabled, that is, if you want a button which is unclickable, if you click it cannot create an action. So for that you have to just write disabled followed by the class. So now you can see Now you can see the comparison between the primary button and the disabled button of primary class. The difference between them is the color. You can easily guess with the color. In the first one, the color is dark, and when you hover over it, or when you click it, it can create or trigger an action. But whereas for disabled button, you can see nothing happens. You can when you click on it, or when you hover over it, it causes no actions. So this is the simple difference between a disabled button and a simple primary button. Let's see for secondary button also. Now see, and this is in dark and this is in light, which is a slight fade color of gray. That is, it is disabled. It cannot work. Even if you click, it doesn't work. It will not work. So this was the disabled button, and last one is a block button. So let's see. First, I will show you what is a block button, and then I will tell you about it. Let's take an example. Okay, we will take for success. So this is a block button. So what it does, you have to just append width 100. So what it does, it actually covers the entire width of your page for that button. If I just delete this, so it will be a normal block, normal button, means normal success button. But if you want a block button, what does block means? Block means that it will cover the entire width of that page for that single element. So W means width, and 100 means the full 100% of that 100 width, that is the size of the entire web page. So when I just append this W hyphen 100, it just covers the entire width for that web page on that block button. So this is all for today. If you like our video, please like it, share it, and subscribe our Code Station. If you have any comments, please write them in our comment box. Even if you have any suggestions, please write it in our box. So thank you for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.